Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are on the Riviera line by Dovetail Games and Rivet Games, and we are in one of the oldest trains in the game. This is the GWR Class 166 Networker Turbo, and we're at Exeter St. David's heading down to Paignton. This train was originally introduced with the what was it? The Great Western Express route that was released all the way back in 2018 as the second route in the TSW franchise after Sandpatchgrade and the first British route in the game. This is the unremastered version because there is a remastered version coming quite soon. But I wanted to take the unremastered version for a spin, and there is reason to believe that we will get the two-car Class 165 as well. I do have extensive experience on the Class 165, 166 family. They are quite, I've ridden on them quite a few times on one of the Thames Valley branch lines. I'm not going to say which one. And yeah, honestly, the horn and engine sounds and modeling are actually pretty accurate. So anyway, enough waffle. Yeah, this thing's a lot more simple than modern stock in the game. No announcements, no working GSMR, no faults, no dynamic suspension, no nothing. So yeah, train lighting on. Let's just make sure that's, let's put the headlights today. TPWSIS, DSD, vigilance is already on. Lovely. Let's get the instrument lights on. Oh, forgot you could open the door. Oops. Forgot you could easily open the door. Is there a way I can open the window? Please tell me there's a way to open the window. Anyway, check the destination blind. It does say painted. You can actually manually change it, but it just sets itself automatically at the start of the service. Feels weird driving a train, which I've definitely fold you up. Don't have a second band today. Here's the interior. Pretty accurate, except the ones that I've ridden on don't have a first class compartment because I think they removed them. Maybe? I don't know, but when I've ridden on the 165, those definitely didn't have a first class section. Does it have a DRA? Yes, it does, but it's not. But normally you can use the page down button on the keyboard to do it. If I hit it, nothing happened, so I'll just have to click it manually. That's annoying. Hopefully that's something the remaster fixes. So yeah, our service today is Exmouth to Paignton to Tango 11, Exeter St. David's, Exeter St. Thomas, Marsh, Barton, Star, Cross, Dawlish, Warren, Dawlish, Teignmouth, Newton Abbot, Tor, Torquay and Paignton. DRA off. Right, let's get an exterior view launch. There goes the branch off toward Bournemouth, I think, Salisbury. Yeah, that's operated by South Western Rail. Those trains are represented in game by East Midlands Trains Class 158s from the Midland Main Line because, well, we don't have South Western Class 159s in the game, and those are the closest we can get without violating licensing, unfortunately. I like to see it there, but it's weird seeing East Midlands Trains stock. Okay. TPWS doesn't have a button, so I'm going to assume that it doesn't work? Yeah. So, Great Western Express. I did turn on AWS. Did I just miss a switch somewhere? DSD. Oh. Oh, yes, AWS fuse. Okay, I did not know that. Okay, good to remember. It's been absolute ages since I've driven the 166 because I've been waiting for the remaster, and I wanted to. And I know this is the unremastered version, but I just wanted to take it out since it was since I could drive it on the Riviera. Also, just a quick point, I am using Windarton's live weather mod and London Midland signal visibility mod, and I don't have any other mods in use as far as I know. This is actually my first time... Oh goodness, I'm really driving badly today. This is actually my first time stopping at Exeter St. Thomas. Press the speed up. No, I don't want that. Yeah. It's actually quite nice that the 166 layers onto Riviera, because having watched real footage of this line, it is quite an integral part of this line in line's rail scene in real life, as well as the Class 165, which sadly we don't have in game yet, but I'm hoping that's one of the things included with the remaster. Let's zoom the map out just to get some better frames. So we're heading from here all the way down to here. My favourite run on this line. Exeter to Painted is probably my favourite run on this line. Do like the 166. Bit of a shame that, yeah, it's such an old model. And I like can't open the windows, can't turn TPWS on. Next stop, Marsh Barton, in just over a mile, which is one of the newest stations on the line, having been opened in about March, April of 2025, which makes it almost a year old at the time of uploading. There's a 802. My goodness, the 166 is a slow train off the mark. But yeah, the 166 is actually drivable on no less than 3 separate routes. It's of course drivable on Great Western Express, because that's the route it was made for, but it's also drivable on this route, the Riviera line, and also drivable on the the Brighton Main Line route from Reigate to Gatwick Airport, representing the Reading to Gatwick Airport service that is operated by GWR in real life. I think it is. I think it's operated by GWR anyway. My goodness. This thing's a lot slower than the Class 150, I gotta say. 0.6 miles to Marsh Barton. 100 limit coming into force. What is our legal maximum? 90. Right. So the game's cleared us up to 100, but we're only cleared up to 90 because, yeah. I don't want to violate legal limits. Marsh Barton, no announcements, sadly. Hopefully, one of the things included with the remaster should be dynamic suspension, announcements, and guard mode support, so hopefully that copies onto the Riviera well enough. Alright, Marsh Barton. Lovely early morning winter service here. I don't want to use the blind. Don't like using it. Stop, please. Thank you very much. At least platform announcements are working. Nice. Yeah. Do like the foldable seat. Yeah. There's not really a lot that's operable in here, but right. Next stop, Star Cross in 6 miles. That's a long way. So hopefully we should be able to get up to our legal maximum of 90 before the limit comes down. Oh, there's a 150. Nice. 166 is a definite slow train. Oh, yeah, but it'll soon be, the 166, 165 and 150 will soon be confined to the more rural lines, because the line, well, not really rural. The GWR has lines electrified from Paddington to Didcot, to Cardiff Central via Bristol and Swindon, and it also has the line from Reading to Newbury electrified on the Cornish Main Line as well. But they are in the process of electrifying the line from Didcot up to Oxford, and so the line from Newbury to Penzance, and then also the it's a bunch of different branches. But GWR still has a large portion, and most of the busiest portions of the line fully electrified. 5 miles to go. Wait a minute, so it's taken us almost 1.5 miles, and we're only at 60 miles an hour. My goodness, this thing is really slow. At least all the safety systems seem to work very nicely. I do like that. $70 miles an hour, and that's taken almost another mile. That's taken another mile just to get up to 70 miles an hour. This thing is so slow. I know the 150 is not the fastest train in the world, and the HST certainly isn't, but this makes those look like a bullet, like bullet trains. This thing is monumentally slow. Oh, as I was going back to the GWR electrification project, if you've heard of the, what is it, the Class 230? I think it's the Class 230. That was like a one-off train that they built for, that GWR built. Well, it was technically a London Underground tube stock rebuilt by Viva Rail that was built for built as a battery electric train for testing. Oh, approaching the sea, and yeah, like that broke the world record for the longest distance a battery electric train has traveled, and I think GWR are looking into retrofitting their old diesel trains like this one with batteries for use on rural lines, which would be absolutely excellent. And look at that, we've only got up to 90 just as we need to brake to 75. Let's start the brakes. We only got up to 86, we didn't even hit 90 miles an hour. Approaching the sea. Come on, buddy, slow down to 75. At least notch 1 of brakes seems to be pretty decent at slowing down. Under 2 miles to Starcross, and I think this is the first time I've ever stopped at Starcross. HST, Castle Set. Oh, that's so sad, because as I'm recording this, the GWR HST Castle Sets are actually all being finally retired today, the 13th of December 2025, leaving the only HST operator in the UK left as ScotRail. Every other rail operator in the UK has either replaced their aging HSTs with IETs or brought in stuff like the Voyagers. The Voyager, like the 220, 221 sets, which themselves are not the newest pieces of kit in the world, but yeah. 0.9 miles, let's cut the power. Lovely winter morning over the sea today. Well, autumn-ish. Start notch 1 to brake. It's a bit early for notch 1, I think. Starcross, we can actually see it all the way from here, despite it being half a mile away. Star Cross. 2 minutes early. I do like the horn on this unit. I know it's a bit loud from the outside, especially if the camera is facing toward the train, but yeah, it's definitely... The sounds actually on this thing have actually aged quite well. I thought they were pretty mediocre when I first got this unit, but having ridden on the Turbo Network or Turbo family quite extensively now, I think they are actually pretty decent for the time, but definitely could do with an upgrade. Starcross. I wonder how many services stop here every day. I'll have to have a look at the map. A minute early into Starcross. Very nice. Onto the brakes. Oh. Thank you. Right, let's have a look at the map. How many services stop at Starcross? Never mind, a lot of services do. A decent amount of services, at least one every hour during the day, which is decent enough. One thing I really do like about Starcross is that the station's literally right on the sea. You've got this old building from Brunel's atmospheric railway, which was a real thing. It was an absolute failure. We've also got a couple of piers here. Ooh, hello. Are you painting? No, you're reading a newspaper. Ah. Okay, the drone camera's really having a lot of fun today. I don't know exactly why. Ooh, I wonder if we can come out here on foot. I'm going to have to check this after I'm done recording, but look at all these boats. They're pretty old models because, well, I think they're originally off of the West Somerset Railway? Please do correct me if I'm wrong, because those assets are definitely not new to the game. Right. Oh man, those engine sounds are really, really good. And I can say that from personal experience. Dawlish Warren in 2 miles. That's the one next to the theme park, isn't it? I'm going to have to check on the Starcross piers and see if I can get onto them. Hopefully there isn't like an invisible wall or something. Right, we're clear back up to 80 miles an hour. The chances of us getting up to 80 before we get to Dawlish Warren are slim to, well, none. Hopefully I zoomed the map. Nope, I didn't zoom the map back out. Good thing I checked, because for some reason that seems to increase the frame rate. 60 FPS, that's quite good. I've just been having an absolute... The DSD and AWS just went off simultaneously. Did you hear that? That's actually quite interesting. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been having a really good time on the Riviera. I know I give Dovetail Games a lot of flack for the generally decreasing quality of their add-ons, especially as relates to core routes, but honestly, the core package for TSW6, aside from Leipzig to Dresden, seems to be pretty good. Leipzig to Dresden, I'm not really going to play until the TSG Expert BR145 comes out, because I'm waiting for the expert timetable on that, for Leipzig to Dresden, because at the moment, and this really bugs me for some reason, the BR101 on Leipzig Dresden, it doesn't let you have a layer for the Expert 101, so all you see is the really old one made by Dovetail Games, which I don't like seeing. I prefer seeing the Expert 101. So I'm holding off on making content on Leipzig to Dresden until the Expert BR145 comes out, because I do have faith in Train Sim Germany to make an absolutely brilliant product. And what is this? It's another 150. Nice. Hello, mate. Let's go down to about 20 miles an hour. Oh. Let's get notch 4 going. We have a minute and a half to do 750 yards. This is actually my first time stopping at Dawlish Warren and not just skipping it. Right, we're heading onto the little sideline here. Wonder if we'll have, since we do have a red signal, I'm wondering if we do have a train like doing an express service passing us. That'd be interesting. Yeah, let's see. Oh, it's beginning to get more cloudy. Oh, why is it doing that? There we go. Sorry, my live weather mod was kicking off a bit. What's the interesting thing about Dawlish Warren is it's right next to a really nicely modeled little theme park. Like, this actually looks really good. Right. Oh, crumbs. Right. We do have a red signal, but we do also have a red signal for the bypass line. Interesting. Oh, Dawlish Warren has a thing that I really hate. Arriving 6 seconds early. Let's get the DRA on. And let's go have a look around. So we've got a car park, teleportation marker so you can teleport to the other platform, which I really do not like. Like, why can't you just let us walk all the way around? And we've got a little theme park here, which really does look good. I really do like it. Like, they put a lot of detail into this. Like, even this like little mini golf windmill actually works, and I love that. And is this Ferris wheel operational? It appears to be stopped, but yeah. We're here for the next 7 minutes. What? Okay, that's surprising. I just noticed that. 7 minutes at a platform is pretty unheard of, I'm not gonna lie. Right, so we're just doing here to here, and we're currently here. Visit the United States. Oh, it's an advertisement for Morristown, that's why. Which is the US call route. Boink. Yeah, I suspect we'll have it. The long wait time is probably due to an express service passing us. But 7 minutes, my word. You hardly ever get that in this game. That long of a wait time, I mean. I think the longest I've ever had was at Le Prese on the Swiss Benina line. I think there are some timetabling shenanigans going on with that. Did you see that? Like, a person appeared and disappeared, and there it goes again. A person just appeared and then disappeared again in like half a second. Alright. That's weird. That is very weird. Anyway, at Le Prese there was some timetabling shenanigans going on, so I had to wait for 10 minutes before it would let me continue, which is... yeah, didn't anticipate that. See if there's any collectibles. Aha! Noise warning. Yes! Do like those cannons. I do like the confetti cannons. They can get a bit grating, but firing them off every once in a while is hugely satisfying. I'm going to try to get in the theme park. If I can try and bypass that teleportation marker. Bam. No, there's an invisible wall. That'd be so much fun if we could actually get. Oh, there we go. Let's just wait. Yeah, we've definitely got a service bypassing us. Let's see where. Oh, it's coming through right now. It was a double cross-country class 220. See if there are any other services going by. There's that 150 we saw earlier. Okay, there is one. Phillips Marsh Depot to Lera Depot, so an ECS move. Yeah, I think we have one more train coming past. That is a ECS move, and then we can go. 3 minutes to go. Let's see if there's anything I can do in here. So you got a little small first class section. Yeah, you can tell that this train is old. Look at that modeling. The stitching would definitely be done better in this day and age. Even though the game still relies on Unreal Engine 4, which is comparatively outdated. Still can't go... Apparently, one of the things that Liam of Grunt Dog Games is actually working on is working flushable toilets in the GWR HST and Class 166. Which, if that's actually going to happen, that would actually be hilarious. Because that carries over from my flight simming days. Back in the days when I did a lot of flight simming, one of the things that people really wanted in an aircraft add-on were flushable toilets, and there are only a few of them that had that. Like, I can think of a few, like the iFly Boeing 737 MAX 8, the Miltech C-17 Globemaster, and a few others that have flushable toilets, but not a lot do, and it's seen as like a point of pride for a developer to include that, and yet we don't have that in TSW, but it is coming to TSW, which I'm quite excited about. I want to see how that's going to be done. Right, where's that ECS move? How far are you away, buddy? He's just passing through Star Cross now, so he's about a mile away. Let's keep an eye out, why not? One thing that I hope is going to be added to the Great Western Express remaster is the Thames Valley branch lines, because being able to do those, having ridden on one particular one of the Thames Valley branch lines quite a bit, is, yeah, that'd be absolutely great if we could have them. Especially since it would give us more to do with the 166 and maybe 165 as well. Where's that service? Is it spawned in yet? No, don't think so. Let's keep an eye out. Oh, are we leaving? I think we don't have a green signal though. Next stop, Dawlish in 1.5 miles, but we've got to wait for that ECS move to head through first, I think. Oh, crumbs. Oh! It's another HST castle set. Nice. Pity I never got to ride on these. It is a massive pity I never got to ride on the HST castle set before they were retired. Maybe at least one of the castle sets has been preserved and is currently at Minehead at the West Somerset Railway as of a few months ago, so hopefully they'll some of the HSTs will stick around, along with some of the what is it, like the bufferless Mark IIIs. It's just right. Let's go. 1.5 miles to Dawlish, and yeah, now we're heading into my favorite section of the route. one thing about the GWR castle sets is that they're actually going to be retired by a completely new form of rolling stock that GWR has never had before, but it's not technically new. It's ex-Transport for Wales Class 175s that are being transferred to GWR now that TFW has the Class 197, so I'm looking forward to seeing the Class 175s being put in a GWR livery. And since I've driven the Transport for Wales 175 in Train Simulator Classic, that should make for an interesting experience, that's for sure. Got under a minute to do the mile to Dawlish. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we are going to be a bit late, unfortunately. That ECS move got in the way. Oh, how long do we have at Dawlish? 30 seconds. Okay, that's not good. There's a 802. Double stroke 1 formation. Nice. Hang on. Try and get the cliffs and the trains and the sea all into one shot. Do it like that. That looks decent. Let me take that. Right, I'll try and leave the braking to the last minute just to try and get there on time. Oh dear. One of my ambitions now as a train spotter is to come to Dawlish in real life and do some train spotting. Yep, we're late. Told you we wouldn't do the mile in a minute. And we won't have the time to explore Dawlish either. Oh dear. There's the Dawlish seawall on the left. Oh no, we only have 10 seconds to get here before we're supposed to go. Right, cram on the brakes. Oh, and we have a green signal. That's good. The castle set has outpaced us. Yep, we're late. Nah, that's annoying. Right. We have... How long are we at Teignmouth? Not long. Oh no. It might not be possible to make up the time. We'll see. Welcome to Dawlish. I'll use notch 7 to get it for maximum velocity. Leaving almost a minute late. Oh no. Next stop Teignmouth in 2.5 miles. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. How's the frame rate doing? 53? Oh, that's really good. This route isn't too hard on the old performance front, which is excellent. And into the first tunnel. Headlights are actually pretty bright. Nice. You're a bit fuzzy. The speedo is definitely a bit fuzzy. Into the next tunnel. nearly at the 75 mark, but oh man, I love this section of the line. Now what I'm really hoping is that sorry about that. Now what I'm really hoping is that Dovetail remakes their old Riviera line in the 50s add-on, but I'm not holding out hope for that because Dovetail claims to have officially stopped Steam development, though Thomas and Friends Visit the West Somerset Railway add-on says otherwise. I think I put the brakes on a bit too early, but hey, it is what it is. Approaching Teignmouth. I know it looks like it should be pronounced Teignmouth, but it's Teignmouth, actually. Oh, man. Alright. I think we will be slightly late into Teignmouth, but it is what it is. Can't change it. And plus, British Railways operators aren't known for operating on time. Floating sign net, I will continue pointing that out every single time I go past Teignmouth because that is totally unacceptable. It's so obvious. Why isn't there a signpost holding that up? Alright, onto the brakes. 25 seconds late. And we were supposed to depart now, but we can't do that. Next stop is Newton Abbot. Next stop, Newton Abbot in 5 miles. Hopefully we can get up to the speed limit of 80 coming up. These switches here operational. No. What was that? Oh, it was a cross-country 220 that I didn't even notice until it shot past. Soon we'll be clear up to our legal limit of 90 miles an hour. It's nice being able to drive the 166 on something other than Great Western Express or BML because those routes, while decent, can get a bit boring because they don't have too much gradient or scenery changes. This route, on the other hand, definitely is the most visually appealing and technically difficult of the three. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't drive the 166 all the way from Exeter to Plymouth. The only services that it does do are the Exeter to Paignton and back runs, but honestly, I don't really mind because the Exeter... I really do like the Exeter to Paignton, and I do, yeah, much prefer that run over the Exeter to Plymouth. Cleared up to 90 miles an hour, however we're only doing 60, so hopefully we'll be alright. Oh man, this scenery is really decent. It's not just trains or trains of Germany level, but honestly, it's more than decent, and I'd say it's actually pretty good by dovetail and rivet standards. When dovetail and rivet, when paired together, seem to achieve routes that and DLCs are not possible when they're apart, because dovetail makes decent routes. Oh, hello. What are you? You're a 150. Double 150. Anyway, well, as I was saying, dovetail and rivet seem to achieve better add-ons when they're teamed up than when they're separate. As Cardiff City Network and this route in the Class 220 really do show that 60 limit coming into force pretty soon. Notch 1 on the brakes. One and a half miles to Newton Abbot. We do have a double yellow, so we do have... I think this is an approach control signal into Newton Abbot, I think. We will have to be careful. Yeah, it is definitely an approach control signal. We do have to get down to 40 miles an hour by the time we get into Newton Abbot, so I'll start gently getting on the brakes. Driving the unremastered version of the Class 166 is a bit weird, knowing that I'll probably never technically drive this normal version again, because the remaster's coming out so soon. I don't think I'll drive the I just drive the 166 on the channel so rarely that... Oh, yeah, it was definitely an approach control signal. Yeah. And by the time I do the exit to painted in a 166 again, it'll have dynamic suspension, it'll have guard mode, it'll have this, that, and the other thing, which this current version just does not have. Right, slightly late into Newton Abbot, but we are here until 10:17, so I think we will finally make up the time that we lost at Dawlish Warren, which is nice. Is that another train? It's another HST castle set. What is that, the third today that we've seen? My goodness. Onto the brakes. And... oh, we do have a green, so DRA can stay off. Let's have a bit of a look round. Bam! Noise. Yeah. Even if... yeah. There's... even if we do, if there's a, I know like a Riviera line in the 50s remake, why aren't you closing? Let me close you. Uh-oh. I'm mashing. There we go. Right. We've made up the time that we lost at Dawlish Warren, which is excellent. Next stop, Tor. Next stop, Tor in 4.5 miles. And we do have a 40 limit coming out of Newton Abbot, later going up to 60. So this is where we start to branch off from the Great Western Main Line and go onto the Painted Branch itself. The Painted Branch does definitely have higher grades than, much more steeper grades than the Great Western Main Line itself, so we will have to be careful. I've been waiting for the Great Western Express remaster for what? A year and 2 months now, and now that we're going to get it pretty soon, Liam of Dovetail Games, not Dovetail Games, Grump Dog Games has said that we will get it before the end of the year, confirmed. And with just over half a month to go before the end of the year as I'm recording this, and with 1 week left of Dovetail's Season of Reveals, I think I know exactly what's going to be the next Season of Reveals. Season of Reveals week announcement. I think on Monday the, what is it, 15th, 16th, something like that, I think that they will announce the Great Western Express Remaster and the GWR HST Farewell Pack release dates, and hopefully some timetable updates for the Riviera to accommodate for the remaster changes, which would be nice. Green signal, 3.5 miles to tour. I hope that someone, a development group like, I don't know, Skyhook Games, Rivet, I don't really care at this point, makes a Class 175 add-on for this game, reprising the old Train Sim Classic version. But not only that, but it would be but put it in GWR livery and have a modernized timetable for Riviera, and have a Transport for Wales livery, and put it and integrate it with the 2 timetables that we've got for Cardiff City Network. That would actually be pretty cool. Because, yeah, while the AP Class 175 is apparently pretty good, I would like it to see it in TSW, and especially have a... What were those wires doing? Were they bending in midair? That was weird. Oh, come on. That was a tight gap under that bridge, goodness. We've got just under 5 minutes to do the 2.5 miles to Tor. And I know it looks like it should be pronounced Torre because it has the E on the end. It's just pronounced Tor as if it's T-O-R without the, and then the R-E on the end should be silent. Do have a 45 limit kicking in a minute. Green signal, lovely. I do like it when signals decide to actually work. That's the 45 warning board, so I'll cut the power and start notch 1 on the brakes. Keep it at notch 5 just to maintain speed. There's the 45 limit and a 30 warning board, but we don't have that for a bit, for another mile at least, so I will have to be careful. Definitely a steep grade at the painting. Still pretty solid 60 FPS, that's decent. Oh, crumbs. There's another class 220 doing the run from Paynton up north. Wonder where he's going, just out of curiosity. One Mike. Oh, I've done that service. Paynton to Manchester. Yeah, 1 Mike 41. Yeah, I've done that service before in one of my previous. Was it one of my previous videos? Not exactly sure. Oh, crumbs. 30 limit. Come on. Brake. Brake, 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 brake. Yeah, we have a pretty steep downward graded tour. Pretty savage downward grade, I might add. Right, come on, buddy. Tour. I think there used to be a bypass line in between these two platforms, judging by the way it looks, but hey, I could be wrong. Ooh. Confetti cannon. Good to have to go get that. I'm here for a minute and 30 seconds, so I better go get it quickly. Come on, open. Thank you. Noise warning for headphones, of course. Nice. Let's get back in. Just over a minute until we leave for Torquay. Probably shouldn't have left that early, but nah, that's future me's problem. Speed limit immediately goes up to 40 miles an hour as soon as we leave Tor, and we've just got under a mile until Torquay. As everyone knows, the home of Basil Fawlty and Fawlty Towers. If you've never seen the Fawlty Towers sitcom, you should. It's hilarious. Has some humor, probably wouldn't be acceptable in modern if it was filmed now, but there you go. You have been warned. 0.7 miles to Torquay. Cut the power since we do have a pretty steep downward grade into Torquay. Torquay. I know this would be possible due to licensing, but I wish that the mastery tile unlock for this route would be a recreation of Fawlty Towers in somewhere near the station of Torquay, because that would be absolutely hilarious. I know it wouldn't be possible due to licensing, but that would be really, really funny. 1 minute earlier to Torquay. Lovely. And then just after this is Paynton, so not too much longer left. Wonder what this hotel is. It's absolutely massive. Please do let me know in the comments what this building is. Torquay Locals, because I don't know what on earth that is. It's massive. Right, come on. I'm looking for faulty towers, but no, I don't think it's been modeled, sadly. Ah, well. Just a quick look around us. Oh, hello. 150. Nice. Seen HST castle sets, 802s, 150s, and 220s today. I think the only major missing component of the rail scene on this route is a GWR Class 158/7 Sprinter, which we do have in the game, but in ScotRail and East Midlands Trains livery, so I'm wondering if Skyhook's... That startled me, the brake squeal from the 150, but... Yeah, I wonder if Skyhook Games is going to make a GWR Class 158 for this route. That'd be nice, but currently Skyhook Games is in no position to make much of anything. Long story short, they won a perfectly valid lawsuit, but it almost broke them financially. They've whittled down their Trains and World team to just one guy, Adam, and they're trying to focus all their resources on making Lawnmower Sim 2. But yeah, I don't... They're certainly in no position to make TSW add-ons for a while, and with only one person behind it, if they are going to make anything, it's going to take absolute ages. But the only Skyhook add-on we know for certain is coming is an Inter-7 City Class 43 HST for 5 Circle and ScotRail Express. But that isn't even on the roadmap. The only reason we know about it is because it's in the layer list for the remastered 5 Circle timetable. Which is, yeah. Right. Skyhook are in a pretty sorry state right now. And the only other thing besides Skyhook that we know is coming besides the Inter-7 City HST, the only other one that we know for certain is coming is a bunch of patches for the Direct Rail Services Class 20 that was part of Cargo Line Volume 5. But yeah, that patch is certainly taking a while to come, and I think it's just because they only have access to one person's talent. Ooh, look at this. Look at this scenery. It's really decent. Painted in 1 mile. Do have a single yellow, so we might have an approach control signal. Who knows? Yep, we do have an approach control signal and a 15 limit coming into Paynton. Gonna have to be careful. Do have 2.5 minutes to get to Paynton, so I can afford to take this somewhat slowly. Do have a pretty steep downward grade into Paynton. Right, there's the red signal. Right, 15 miles an hour achieved. Let's just wait for that signal to turn green. Yes, there we go. Stay at 15 miles an hour. It isn't really worth it to speed up. think we're getting shunted over onto the northbound platforms. Ooh, a couple of rail fans. Give them a honk. Little level crossing. I almost said railway crossing, but then I realized since it's Britain that terminology isn't accurate. It's a level crossing, not a railway crossing. Nothing else in paint apart from me. See if there's any heritage stock in the sidings. Hang on. I want to do it before the doors open. Yeah, there is. Nice. It's not a GWR, any GWR stock, but hey, it is what it is. Let's get the DRA on. Brakes are notch 1. Let's get the tail lights on because, yeah. Tail lights. Nice. Let's lock the doors. Please? Come on. Hang on. I've had this bug get painted before. Let's see. Try and resolve the issue. Let's open doors on both sides just to make doubly sure it isn't like a platform bug. Hang on. Alright. Doors at both sides are open. Lock both. Let's see. Are you going to work properly? Please. It doesn't seem to be working. Anyway, it does take a few minutes to resolve this issue, so I'll sign off here. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.